morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to learn about butterflies. And with the new knowledge that we learned today, we are going to write a poem on it. We are starting our poetry unit this week. So throughout the week, we will learn different types of poems, like what poetry is and how to even write a poem. So before we start, let's learn about butterflies first, and then we can start our poetry unit. So can anyone tell me what is a butterfly? Yes, Samantha? Yes, correct. A butterfly is an insect. So, in your notebook, please write this definition down. Please open your definition. So we're going to put butterfly. And yes, like Samantha said, a butterfly is an insect. Is an insect with 6 legs, and it has 3 separate parts of the body. So that would technically be like our definition. And before we start, I just want to get an idea. Who has seen a butterfly? Raise your hand. It's okay, you don't have to tell me when, but just raise your hand, and I want you to keep that image in your head while we begin our read aloud. So here is the definition. I'm going to keep it up here for a while, and we're going to begin our read aloud. And I want you all to put on your listening ears so that we can begin and follow along while I read this book by Heather Kisok. Here you go. Here's the book, everyone. Throughout this book, there's different facts about butterflies, and I want you all to really pay attention because we will be using those facts to write our poem later today. So yes, Butterflies by Heather Kisok. So in this book, I will tell you about their home, food, family, and how they grew up. So everyone see that? Okay. One day, I was helping my mom in the garden. She called me over to look at something. I looked at the leaf she was holding. There was a little white ball stuck to it. So remember, leaf and a little white ball. What could that be, right? So here you go, a picture of the leaf and the white ball. Does everyone see that? I hope everyone had this image or a similar image because butterflies can look different. But this would be like a full developed butterfly. So, my mom said it was a butterfly egg. She told me not to touch it. So now that we know, the white little ball is a butterfly egg. If we left the egg alone, it would grow to be a butterfly. So egg turns into a butterfly. Oh, do we see those leaves in the holes? Who can predict what happened here from what we already read? Yes, Eric? Oh, you think that maybe once the eggs hatch and the butterflies, they leave like a hole? Yeah, I think so too. That's a good inference. Keep that in your head. A few days later, I went out to the garden. The egg was not there anymore. The leaf now had a bunch of holes in it. So if we go back, like Eric had said, the egg left and now there's a bunch of holes in the leaves. My mom told me that the egg was now a caterpillar. It was eating the leaves for food. This helped it grow. Can anyone raise their hand to show me who has seen a caterpillar before? Okay, a few of us. Nice. So now we know why there was holes in the leaves. It was the caterpillar who ate the leaves for food. Then this helped it grow. She said that the caterpillar would stop eating when it stopped growing. So here you go. Here's a here's a bigger image of the caterpillar. And here, what do we think is happening here? Are they laying something? Maybe. I went out to the garden every now and then to find a caterpillar. One day, I found it hanging upside down on a plant. Its head was turning green. Is this what the boy meant? Yeah, his head was turning green. Oh, just like that. Does everyone see that? What do you think is happening? Is it laying an egg? Is it transforming? Or the egg already happened, right? My mom said that the caterpillar was entering the pupa stage. This stage helps it become a butterfly. So if we have different stages of life, who can tell me the first stage of a butterfly? Yes, the egg, right? And then what happens to that egg? What does it turn into? Yeah, Julia? Oh, okay, a caterpillar. And now that we know, what is that stage when the caterpillar turns into a butterfly? The pupa stage. Yes. This stage helps it become a butterfly. She told me that all of the caterpillar would soon be green. I checked on the caterpillar every day. Before long, it was covered with a hard shell. I asked my mom what the shell did. Oh, so caterpillars have shells, my bad. They have shells. She said that the shell kept the caterpillar safe while it changed into a butterfly. So, we know that the shell keeps the caterpillar safe until it turns into a butterfly. So here's the shell, everyone. What do we see here? We see the shell turn clear, and now we can see the butterflies. What is that? What part of that butterfly is that? The wing. Good job, Claire. The shell was green at first. The next time I saw it, the shell was clear. I could see something inside it. My mom told me that the shell often turns clear the day before the butterfly comes out. So as soon as we start seeing the butterfly, we know it's going to come out of the shell. I went to the garden as soon as I got up the next day. I could see the butterfly starting to come out of the shell. Its wings were all wrinkled at first, then the butterfly began flapping them. The wings became full and flat. The butterfly soon flew away. So here we are getting to know that the butterfly reached its final stage and it's ready to fly away. So the shell finally falls apart. I spent the rest of the summer looking for more eggs. Here we go. I wanted to see another butterfly grow up. Yes, so let's see. Now that we have read the book, we are going to talk about what we've learned from the book and from our prior knowledge. We probably already have prior knowledge if we've seen a butterfly, if we've read a book about butterflies, but let's just go over more of that prior knowledge, and so we can use it to connect to more knowledge. So everyone has written the definition down, I hope. And in that notebook where you wrote the definition, just keep it to the side. We will be learning more key definitions throughout the book. So now, who has heard of a graphic organizer? We've used graphic organizers before. Who can tell me what we use graphic organizers in class for? Yes, Claire? Yes, good job. To organize our facts, our ideas. Yes, Amanda? Oh, yeah. So before we start writing, we usually want to write out our ideas, brainstorm, right? So that when we get to our rough draft, we can start practicing and use our ideas. And then for our final draft, everything will be easier for us to finalized, correct? So let's see. As a class, we're gonna fill out this graphic organizer that I'm gonna pass out. So here you go. So first I want you to write your name on top. So I'm gonna put Miss Vanessa. Okay. So now, Miss Vanessa Alonso, you want your whole name? Write your whole name. And then remember our date is up here, February 8th, 2021. It's okay. So who can tell me what usually goes in the middle of our graphic organizer? Yes, Eric? Yes, the main idea of what we are learning about, right? So, Samantha, what would go in here? Butterfly, correct. So, we can put butterfly or you can put butterflies. I'm just going to put butterfly. Okay, so now let's talk about what we learned from our book. Who can tell me any new ideas, new information that you learned from your book, from the book? Oh, okay. The butterfly has 3 stages. Good job, Samantha. Butterfly has 3 stages of life. Also, while you're filling this out, if you do have ideas like on your own or that we don't have time to share, just write those down because those are going to help you write your poem. So let's see, what else, Eric? Can you tell me something about butterflies that you've learned from the book? Yes, the eggs are laid on leaves. Good job. Claire, do you have anything else? Okay, butterflies come out of shells. Come out of shells when they finally are ready, correct? Anything else? And now I know we've learned a lot more things. What did we know from the book but we saw it in the book? What did we know prior but we saw it in the book? Like any characteristics that relate to butterflies, just raise your hand and then we can write those here. Oh, they have beautiful wings. Yes, Annabelle. Beautiful wings. Who can name something else that relates to a butterfly? Yes, Samantha? They're colorful. Yes. Butterflies are so colorful, correct? What about from our definition? What did we learn from our definition? That it's an insect. Yes. It's an insect. It's not an animal, it's an insect, correct? What else? They usually, Eric? Yeah, they usually come out in the summer, right? Or they start coming out in the spring. Usually start coming out in spring and summer. Yes. What's another thing that they do? Yes, Claire? Oh, yes, that one. They fly. Yeah, they fly. Hence, butterfly. What else can we write? Yes, Eric, they're mostly seen in the sky. So, let's see. Seen in the sky. Okay, I think we have a pretty full graphic organizer that includes new information from the book and information from our prior knowledge and that describes butterflies perfectly. Let's see. With this, I want you to keep your worksheet to the side. We're gonna use it to, like I've said, to write our poem. But great job. Let's put this down, and then so now we can start our poetry unit. I'm gonna erase this. I hope you all, I'm gonna give you guys a few more minutes. I'm gonna give you students a few more minutes so that we are ready to move on. Please take a few more moments and remember that you can add more ideas to it. You don't exactly, it doesn't exactly have to be the same. So I'm gonna start erasing this. Okay, students, now let's bring it back to the front of the classroom. We're going to begin our poetry unit for this week. So before we begin, let's go over some key definitions that we are going to need to know before start to write our poem. Let's see, I have some key definitions here. So like I've mentioned, throughout the week, we are going to learn about poems and their different types. There's so many. So how we will know the definition of poetry, who writes poems, and what different styles of poems they are that we can write. So while I write each definition on the whiteboard, please follow along in your notes on your notebook. It could go under what we wrote for butterfly as one of our words already. So let's see. Let's start with poetry. So we're gonna write our word right here. So I know I've been saying poems and poetry a lot already. Can anyone raise their hand and if you have an idea of what poetry is? Oh, okay, Claire. Yes, it's a type of reading. So for this, we can say a type of literature. Correct, because you can read literature. Type of literature or artistic writing, if you want the full definition of this. Artistic writing. What else do we know about poetry? What is it usually like, what do poetry reflect usually? It's okay if you students don't know, okay? So let's say, so poetry is it attempts to express a reader's emotion. And stirs the emotions of readers. Of the reader. So now we have our definition here. So let's see. For our next word, we are going to say poet. Who knows what a poet is? Or who a poet is? Yes, Eric? Oh, okay. Yes, the person that writes poems. Good job. So we can say a poet is known as the person who writes poems. Good job. So there we have our second word. If I'm going too fast, let me know. And then for our third word, poem. What is a poem? What do I mean by poem? Yes, Eric? Yeah, it's the piece of writing that the poet writes, correct? So let's say a poem is pieces of writing in which the words are chosen for their beauty, and sound, and are carefully arranged. They are often in short lines that rhyme. Pay attention to that last word, short lines that rhyme. Here you go, short lines that rhyme. So we have the word poem right here. So, yeah, so for example, for poems, there's an example of different poems that we will be seeing throughout the week is like, it's called a haiku, a free verse poem, a couplet, what else? Does anyone know? Can anyone raise your hand and if you know a type of poem that it's from before classes? Oh, okay, yeah. That's acrostic where you write a line that starts with the letter of the word you chose. Good idea. Good job, Samantha. That's from your prior knowledge, correct? So here are just a few examples: haiku, free verse, couplet, and acrostic. But for this class, for today, we're going to start writing one specific poem. So I'm gonna erase this. I hope all our notes are written down because I will be checking for completion at the end of the day. So let's see. Let's erase till here. So here. So for today's class, we will learn how to write a couplet. And like I mentioned before here, it is a type of poem with our definition of poem right here at the end. So, does anyone know what a couplet is? It's okay if you never heard of it because today we will be learning what it is and how to write one. No? It's okay. So a couplet is, write this down in your notes too, a short 2-line poem. You see, keyword on poem, right? Because that's the definition that we have already written. A short 2-line poem with endings with ending words that rhyme. Also keep this word rhyming in mind too. So a couplet is a short 2-line poem with ending words that rhyme. So I mentioned rhyme before. Let's refresh our minds, and because from prior grade levels we've had focused on rhyme before. I'm gonna erase the definition of poem down here so we have space for rhyming. So let's see. For our last definition, we're going to write what it means to rhyme. What is rhyming? Can someone tell me what rhyming is, or an example of a rhyme? Okay, Claire, fall, call. Good job. If we listen to that closely, fall, call, they sound the same, correct? Similar, but not exactly spelled. They're not spelled and they don't mean the same, but it sounds the same. So with that, rhyme, the definition of rhyme is words that sound the same or similar in their endings. So here's the definition of rhyme. You can see that. So let's practice a few of words that, let's see. If I write like Claire said, fall, 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 and call. What I underlined, what sounds the same in their endings, correct? Fall, call. Eric, what would be another word that rhymes with these two? Fall, call. Fall or call? Good job. Tall. Yes, Samantha? What other word would rhyme with fall, call, tall? Yes, Samantha. Small. So if we've noticed here, these are all words that sound the same. They don't mean the same thing, right? They're not